All right, guys, thanks for joining Bundys Garage again. And just to let you guys know, I didn't know it. My son's friend had to tell me, but I actually passed the 60,000 subscriber mark. So thank you so much. What I'm doing here, I'm working on a Toyota Tacoma. This is a mass airflow sensor. All right. And why am I changing this out? Well, I'm changing this out as a preventive maintenance. Okay. So I'm going to share a story with you from my buddy Armando, who has a Tacoma as well. But this is a very critical component of the engine fuel management system. So if this thing isn't running right, it can leave you stranded, and you don't want that. So what I'm doing is this mass airflow is not giving me any codes, but I am changing it out as a preventative maintenance item. Why? Like I said, if it goes wrong, if something happens with it, it will leave you stranded. But what I recommend, I highly recommend, is that you only use a Denso part for it. All right? There's all kinds of parts you can get from AutoZone. My buddy had a hell of a time with AutoZone mass airflow. It didn't work, and threw some codes for him, and he actually had to end up taking it to a local shop in his area to get it fixed. But so here's the original one. Right at the bottom, Denso. Denso is OE for a lot of components on your Toyota. Alright, so I have a Denso right here. I'll put some links down in the description below where you can get one. Just make sure it matches up to your particular vehicle, your application. Here's the new one. Denso right there. Doesn't say Toyota on it. But just take it, make sure everything matches up. Good like. Which it does. Alright, so just take that, make sure your O-ring is in place right there. Pop it down into place. There, it went in. You have tiny little screws that hold it in. Don't drop those. But like I said, I am doing this as a preventive maintenance measure. Just like changing your oil. Or, changing out your radiator fluid. Your coolant at a specific time. I would recommend changing this sensor out probably every 100,000, every 150,000 miles. Because if you don't, and it goes bad on you, it can leave you stranded. Your engine won't run. So if you if you ever mess with one of these, if you clean it and you don't hook it up all the way, if you don't get this connector in all the way, your engine you'll be able to start the engine, but it won't stay running. It won't idle correctly. So that's all there is to it. Now let me it's only audio, but I'll bring my buddy Armando in, and you can hear his story about when his mass airflow sensor went bad. Here with Armando, he has a 2005 Toyota Tacoma with the beloved 4.0 liter, and he had to end up pushing his truck out of the middle of an intersection. Why don't you tell me, Armando, what happened with that?
My son is driving. We're in the middle of an intersection, and the truck just died out. When we tried to start it, it just tried cranking over, but it wouldn't start. I had some neighborly people come and help us get us out of the intersection, but we had to get somebody out there to fill us up with gas because we thought it was out of gas. Luckily, the truck started, and we were able to limp it home, but it wasn't running too good. When I ran my scanner on it, it showed a P0031 and P0035 for mass airflow sensor and O2 sensors. I went to AutoZone to replace the O2 sensors first to see if that would clear one of the codes, and it never cleared either code. I went back to the AutoZone, got the mass airflow sensor, put that on. Neither code popped on. Matter of fact, multiple codes popped on after that happened, and showed all the O2 sensors being bad at that point. So I took it into from AutoZone.
The old AZ, baby.
The old AZ. So from that point, I went ahead and took it into the shop, and they diagnosed as needing OEM equipment. Denso equipment needing to be used for all Toyotas, is what I was told by my mechanic. So once he put the OEMs in there, it cleared all the systems and we were good.
So you had to basically replace.
I had to replace the mass airflow sensor and all 4 O2 sensors. And before I replaced it, when we would try to hit the gas, it would shoot out nothing but black soot out of the exhaust. I still got the stain on my sidewalk right there. But it's all running gravy now.
I wonder if just replacing the mass airflow sensor would have taken care of the problems.
I think so. When I pulled off the first, before the catalytic converter O2 sensor, it did look pretty dirty, and nothing indicated that they were changed out before. So we just went ahead and looked at it like, this is a wearable part. Since we're down here, we might as well replace.
That just goes to show you, always stick with OE sensors for your Toyotas and Lexus.